going on, water signs? This is your girl Venus Archangel here with another love reading for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you're unsure of your placements, go ahead and check the description box below. Also guys, please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and it's totally fine. Alright y'all, let's go ahead and see what's happening in your love lives, okay? What's happening? Guys, let's go ahead and take a look at your love life, right? You know what to do, family. Pick your side. Pick which either side resonates with you the most, okay? Oof. Relationship is a very heavy and intense one here, all right? Because judgment comes up. This is about the review. How much have y'all been putting into this relationship? That's the big question, right? How much have you changed through this development of this relationship, through this process of being with this individual, right? Brewing such a, you know, strong and deep, you know, spiritual growth out of this, right? This is all about the reflection of that, looking at what you've been through and really acting on the new you that's coming, that's reborn out of everything that's kind of been happening. You know, you've changed. You change when you go through a cycle. You change when you go through any cycle, actually. So with judgment, it's the call to action is about where you go from here. Where do you go from the development and the change that's happened through the cycle that you've been through this relationship? And I feel like everybody's kind of showing their new sides, or at least being aware of what they've gone through to see what they will, you know, what they've become out of these consequences. Now, the Three of Pentacles of this individual, I feel like this person is trying to plan for the future, or even trying to see if there's a future to continue with this individual, right? Right? They, you know, to plan for the future, you have to recognize there's a future at all. And I feel like this is reevaluating or looking at the future exactly. Not really reevaluating, but just evaluating what the future has in store for the relationship itself. And I do feel like this person believes that there's potential, you know, building towards something long term, because this is in regards to this, you know, this is regarding people together building something long term, building plans, making plans together. But the other person here with the Five of Swords is a little bit different. It's almost like either they're compromising, which is what I feel like they're doing here with the Five of Swords energy, either that they're compromising on what they want, or what they are doing for this, for what, you know, to get some sort of outcome, some sort of goal here, or they're being very selfish and they're not compromising that, right? Because like I say all the time, the Five of Swords does talk about, you know, you potentially going through a ruthless cycle where you're doing anything and everything you can to make something happen, whether this is compromising on something so you can get a certain outcome, or being completely selfish and not compromising at all. You always lose something in regards to this, which is why this is considered, you know, sometimes to be the empty victory card. So this person may be trying to, you know, make some things happen, very focused on oneself in regards to getting some sort of outcome because of how the relationship has developed them, right? Or how this relationship has kind of turned out. But we'll see as we go through this, see what kind of, what energy this is really pulling. Let's see what's going on here internally for each section of the relationship here. This person is definitely taking a time out to really look and see if there's even a future to build with an individual. Right? They changed a lot through this process, and I feel like they're going back within themselves to figure out who they are now, to really reevaluate what they can, who they are from this future forward, right? And I feel like it's, wow, very empowering. Wow, this person here though, the other person is stressed out. Nine of Swords. They may have a lot of doubts, a lot of anxieties about what's going on internally, right? About something. Something they're very stressed out about. We'll see in a moment. But they're very stressed out. They're very focused. I feel like they're focused on the future quite a bit, which is why they're trying to do everything and anything they can to make it happen. But let's go ahead and take a look at the internal energies for the relationship. Nine of Wands. each person in this relationship has been through a great deal of stuff, done some stuff, tired of stuff, right? This is you know, the Nine of Wands is a very exhausting energy, and it's because you may have you may be like, each person here may have reached the close, the cap of their, you know, their capacity of patience. Each person could be very defensive in the relationship, right? They possibly build up some walls, but I feel like ultimately though, like everybody has been through a great deal with this relationship, and it's, you know, it's very close to the end, but you know, this is one of those cards that people may feel more inclined to kind of like throw in the towel, right? But at the same time, right, it's like there's something in them that keeps them from being able to drop this situation because of how much they've been through, because of where they are right now. They're at the closest, they're closest to the cycle than they've ever been. But they've been through so much, it's like, how much more do I have to take in order to be able to get to the ending of the cycle? And I feel like the whole point of it all is, it's very, the Nine of Wands and Judgment to me are very similar, because this is the review. How far have you come, and what have you, who are you now in regards to, you know, this situation, regards to this relationship, your, you know, your journey. Who are you now, and is this truly resonating with who you are? And if so, then why would you give it up, right? You still have a fight in you. In a way, the Nine of Wands person isn't giving up, has never given up, and won't give up, because he still believes in what he's defending. He's still standing there defending it. Sure, he's a little iffy now because he's in pain and stuff, and he's, you know, exhausted, but he still has a belief. He still has this hardcore, this hardcore like fight in him still, like one last fight within him to keep this thing going. Okay, and I feel like each person has their own doubts, has their own reasons to kind of think about dropping the relationship, obviously, right? Or at least think about doing whatever they feel like they need to gain some sort of, you know, to really be true to themselves, right? But I feel like it does require them to look at what they believe here, right? Let's take a look at the external energies to see what else is going on. Kind of, you know, figure out what this reading is all about. Get some more information. External energies, please. External energies. The Knight of Cups. So this person is very, you know, it's about romance and their ideal partner here. I feel like this person may be emotionally kind of flaky, but not in a mean way. Like, they're not being flaky, like they're like trying to be like, you know, inconsistent on purpose. Obviously, no. When the Knight of Cups comes up, he's very genuine about how he feels, but it's very genuine and when he changes his mind too, because he doesn't necessarily know what he wants. And I feel like this person may be coming off as somebody that is very emotional in 1 minute, right, very romantic 1 second, but then they kind of do something different because they may not feel it in that moment, right? They're being very honest with how they feel, but they're also very focused on what they want, right? What their true heart's desire is. And I think for this person, it's like, it's a bit trembled right now. They don't know exactly what's going on. I think they've retreated to look within themselves to figure out what it is that they truly want externally, right? Because they're both, you know, the Hermit and the Knight of Cups, if you're noticing, right, they're facing a different direction. They're looking elsewhere. They're looking at different directions. It's like, I feel like this person's looking externally for what makes them happy rather than looking, but they really potentially have to look within. Or they're trying to, or how they are internally is reflecting outward, which is uncertainty, looking within, trying to figure that out, right? This is 9, 9, 9. You have 3 9s in this reading. And honestly, Judgment is pretty much the same thing as the Hermit card, except where this is more of a healing and really returning to the self sort of energy. This is really recognizing your journey, really recognizing and getting back in touch with who you are based off of the events that's come up and the transformation that's been, you know, pretty much perpetuated, not perpetuated, but kind of that's been in progress as you went through the journey. So I think this is like it's like a changing of someone's mind, or a changing of someone's, you know, wants and desires. And it's going to be a little bit of a loop here where it's going to be kind of flip-floppy, because they're still trying to look, right? They're still looking within. I don't think this person's necessarily sold on it yet. And I feel like this person's having to really kind of, you know, develop some sort of confidence with themselves to kind of go for what they want as well. The Knight of Cups is fearless usually because it's like, it's his heart's desire. There's no doubt, of course, he's got motivation to do so. And I feel like it's, you know, what matches this, right? What is it that they feel that they want, that they feel like they should go for it? But I feel like ultimately this is love, right? Love is also here as well. And I feel like this person may love what they, love their partner. Maybe this person is their ideal person. Maybe this person feels like this other person may not be consistent. But all in all, right, the Knight of Cups, I really feel like this is, they do have a heart, or they have a dream somewhat. They do know how they feel in a way. I don't know. I feel like they're still trying to figure it out because of the Three of Pentacles. Now let's take a look at the external energies here with this other person. Wow. Okay, the Sun. So it's very clear what's going on externally. I feel like they have the Sun in their external energies because what's going on around them is not necessarily maybe totally what's worth stressing out about. Now the Nine of Swords, there's always a reason why to stress out, right? But I feel like this person may be allowing their minds to kind of be too heavy or dictate too much in regards to what they do, because the Sun shows the path to happiness. It's very clear what's going on. There's no doubts about it. The only thing that's keeping this person from being able to see what's truly there is their worries, their doubts, their fears themselves. Their hands are the ones that are keeping their faces from being able to see the sun, gain some of the warmth, because they're in the darkness here. You see, it's very dark in here, and that's where the thoughts of doubt and anxiety that can come up, and all the dark thoughts, right, can come up. If this person let the light in, I'm sure it will shine a lot on the things that may keep this person from being able to be confident in themselves to be able to get something. Because the Five of Swords is someone that's trying to get something, trying to make something happen. And I feel like it's exhausting them one way, but then they're so anxious to get something, make something happen, that they don't see that really perhaps there's other ways of doing something that doesn't really stress them out. Or maybe even being honest with themselves and being true to their hearts and what they feel will get them to where they want to be, to get them to where they want. And there may be a sacrifice within this, but I feel like it's a necessary, with empty victories, sometimes it's a necessary victory. Right? You see how it's sometimes you do something that you may not necessarily have had to do, just to get to an outcome, but hey, whatever, right? Is whether or not you feel it was worth it or not, or whatever. But I feel like with the sacrifice that comes up here with the Five of Swords, that there may be something here that it may be stressful in regards to either losing, right? But there's an outcome that in which that it's really truly bright, and it does show that not only the situation can get to wherever this outcome is for this person, that whatever it is that this person wants, but shows the true light and shine of their hearts and what they truly want to shine out there, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But let's take a look at the external energy for the relationship. I'm going overtime really badly. Four of Swords. So it's very interesting. Everybody's going through a transformation and upgrade in a way, because when I see the Four of Swords and Judgment, everybody's changing. Everybody's definitely changing, and everybody's pretty much out of commission right now. They're exhausted. They're trying to reevaluate their truth and their beliefs, but ultimately, find themselves, find who they truly are with everything that's been going down, with who they've become, based off of all the lessons that they've been through, the obstacles that they faced, everything. It's been one exhausting journey internally, but it's to show each person who they truly are now, and what this relationship is truly looking like, how it's matured, what it's come to. Is it more of a place of passion and just exhaustion? Well, no, lack of passion, exhaustion mostly. Expending oneself to a place that pretty much doesn't have any more energy, to where it's a break, where it's non-existent, really, where it's it's a pause, right? Is anything developing from here, from constantly doing something that's that may not work for anybody anymore? Or is there a lot more passion here because there's someone that still feels something here, that still has a lot of belief in something they're defending? But this is a time of healing, right? So I think there's a lot going on here. Two of Pentacles. Okay. Focusing, you're balancing of the scales, looking at what truly is of value to each person. And the way to do that is to look within. And I feel like each person has to look within themselves to really figure out if where this relationship is going is really what that truly resonates with the new them. Because each person in this reading is coming out fresh and new. It's coming out with different stuff. It's a cycle now. It's something new is coming out of each. That's what this person is reevaluating. That's what this person's at a 9 here, and then ultimately the relationship eternally is about a 9. Everybody's reviewing, and really it's very personal for each person, but it's going to affect the relationship somehow. All right, water signs, this has been your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Long reading again, but you know what? Hey, whatever, right? Love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye now.